18 to 37-year-olds are the most frequent viewers of live stream video in the US. 52% of live video viewers stream content through social media. Video streaming accounted for nearly half of all downstream internet traffic. What does it all mean? Let's find out on the Why I Go Live podcast with Coach Kirk.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Yes, family, we are so excited to be back for another exciting episode of the Why I Go Live podcast. Did you know, as they say, inquiring minds want to know. Did you know that search engines saw 300 to 500% increase in searches for live streaming platforms during the middle of the month of March 2020. That's from Google Trends. Did you know that? 3 to 500%. Don't you want a little piece of that pie? Get this. Engagement on live videos on LinkedIn is exponentially higher than posts with pre-recorded video. Live videos average 7x more reactions and 24x more comments. That's from LinkedIn. That's bananas. And here's our last one. Live stream watch time has increased by over 250%. That's from Think with Google. This is madness. What is all the rage about? That's what this podcast seeks to answer. That's what we're here for. Let's get into it. As promised in my last show, I shared with you that I would be bringing on co-host of the Incubators Couch live show and podcast, webmaster and chief creative officer for Komposition LLC, and my boss, Kanique Mighty-Nugent. What's going on?
Hi, everybody.
So excited to have you from just beyond the door.
Yes.
Man, take a quick second and just introduce yourself to the Why I Go Live podcast audience. Of course, I know who you are, but just take a quick second and share with the folks a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then we'll dive into our signature title question for the show today. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I am Kanique with Komposition, and I am the owner of Komposition LLC. It is a web design and live video strategy agency here in Huntsville, Alabama. We not just create the websites, we maintain them, we host them, we provide the domains. And then when you want to take your brand live, we also help you to go live. So definitely, if that's something you want to do, definitely reach out to Komposition LLC. We would love to help you bring in creativity forward through your business.
That is awesome. This is a shameless plug. If you guys need any help with your web, any help with your video production needs, video marketing needs, if you want to utilize the power of live video, make sure that your business, if you're a coach, author, consultant, you need these things to be relevant in the space. And we're excited. We have Kanique on with us today. I'm super excited to have you. Can you tell I'm a little happier today on the Why I Go Live podcast audience? Can you tell? Listen, this is what we came here for. I'm so excited for this. We're asking folks, we're going all around the web to people of different backgrounds and niches, expertise, disciplines, industries. And we want to ask them this question. You're a web designer. And so, why do you utilize live streaming? Go ahead.
So the people who are listening audio, they can't see my shirt, but my shirt says post-traumatic client disorder. And
PTCD.
Yes, and that is PTCD, guys. That means that business owners, web designers, whatever industry you're in, you've had some trauma working with clients. So for myself, I've had my share of, difficult clients to work with, and that comes with its own trauma. And so I decided I need to either sit on somebody's couch or create a couch where I can talk with business owners like myself and share those experiences. Because when you share those experiences, that does something for you mentally. It helps you to kind of get that stuff off your chest, because when you talk about it, you express what those feelings are. That's a great way of healing. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to go live, to share those experiences. And another perk about it is that you get to talk with other business owners who are actually going through those same things, and they get to share how they handled those experiences. And that might give me or other business owners a different perspective on how to handle those difficult situations.
That is so good. That is so good. Oh, this is so rich. The Incubators Couch is a very unique space. It is very much, as the title suggests, it is a therapy session. We get a chance to interview business owners from all over. And one of the things that we've recognized is that being able to have a hybrid show, because our show is hybrid, right? So there's a component of it that is pre-recorded. That's the guest component, what we call the therapy session. And we bring them in whenever their schedule will allow, and we have that session recorded with them. And then you have the live component, which is just the two of us. We do that Mondays at 7 p.m. and we're able to be consistent with that. We're able to engage our audience with that. And here's something that I always tell my coaching clients. When you have a guest, in fact, we just said this the other day, right, babe? When you have a guest, you cannot be the focal point. You have to give way to your guest to be able to make sure they shine, make sure they speak. But when you have your guest just in one segment of the show, you can find that hosting portion just to that part, and then you get to really engage your audience. And what we found that live streaming for that show, because we could just do the whole thing pre-recorded. We really could.
Yeah, we could. Yeah,
but the live component of it has been exponential in terms of building this community, building this audience, and allowing people to get their comments out, and then we can hash out those comments. Listen, I was going to ask our follow-up question, and I think you answered it already, but what is one of the craziest things that has come out of a live show for you, and of course your co-host, which is me, for the Incubators Couch? And the reason why I say I feel like you've answered it already is because you're kind of wearing a crowdsourced phrase on your t-shirt.
That is one of the things. Yes, we did start to create t-shirts where people can purchase online that kind of have some of the sayings that came out of the show. But I'm thinking about one of the things that came out of the show. There was a young lady that tuned into the show, and she's very new into the whole web design creative field. And we have been able to pour into her, I think, where she's been able to gather so much resources just from being on the show, listening to other business persons talking about their experiences. And we've been able to kind of coach her through some things, because as we are talking live, she's able to share a particular experience she's going through at that moment. And we've been able to pour into her and say, okay, this is the best way how you should handle this. Maybe say this, maybe do this. And she has actually come back to us and saying, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys' feedback. That has helped me so much. So that has been one of the things that I love about the Incubators Couch, being able to live walk people through some things for them to figure some things out.
Man. I didn't even think about that. That is such a really cool component. And the truth of the matter is, if it wasn't live, we wouldn't be able to have that real-time interaction. We wouldn't be able to field those questions. She would maybe comment, and maybe, when we had time, we would respond, but it wouldn't be that two-way street that live affords us. That's so crazy. Listen, I just before we get ready to get out of here, it doesn't have to be eternal for it to be impactful. But before we get out of here, what are some of the other phrases that has come out of the audience and our time together during the Incubators Couch? I know you're wearing one. I've got PTCD, post-traumatic client disorder. And if you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on the podcast platforms, we'd love to hear from you. If that message, if that phrase resonates with you, PTCD. But what are some of the other things that came out? I can think of one. I'm
trying to think right now. Trying to put me on the spot.
The signature one that I love is the Clientzilla. The Clientzilla.
Exactly. Ooh, I've got one. You can't pay for dopeness. Come on.
You can't pay for dopeness. And that was, that was such an organic moment that happened while live. Oh, that is so good. And one of the things that Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Another one was know your no and guard your yes.
Your yes. Ooh, I forgot about that one. That's a really good one. Know your no and guard your yes. And then you can't pay for dopeness. Ooh, one of the things that I was going to say right here is that you when you have those live moments and something in the, literally in the moment. Oh gosh. In the moment, there are times where we'll be talking with somebody on the show, or even in the therapy session interview, and during the recording, and they'll say something and we will both look at one another and say, oh, that's the title for the show. That's the title for this episode. That's the title for the episode, and that's the shirt. And it's like, wow. Clients.
And one more. There was another one that was exposure does not equal currency.
Yes. Somebody out there right now is saying, man, you just hit me in my gut with that one. Oh, exposure does not equal currency. When you have those moments, those organic moments that happen live where you as the host and maybe a guest or just you as host and your live audience come up with something and create something in the moment. It's like you're in a creator, stack right there. Like you're actually live creating content. And then while live creating content, you and the audience actually come up with a phrase, and then you create a t-shirt, and then that t-shirt is able to be sold. It's like it's exponential right there. And it really galvanizes people around the whole concept of the show, galvanizes people around what it is that you're doing. And this is why I always want to make sure here on the Why I Go Live podcast that we get a chance to share with people the far-reaching, ridiculous, awesome, and amazing effects of live streaming. Kanique, take another second right here as we get ready to land to just share with people where they can follow you and the Incubators Couch. Anything else that you have going on that you'd want to share with the audience?
You can find me on Facebook at Kanique. You can find me on Instagram at Kanique MN. You can find Incubators Couch at iCouch.show. And you can listen to our podcast. We are on Spotify, Apple. I know Google has transitioned.
Yes, they have.
You can also
Google has gone the way
our
of Dodo.
live episodes on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Go to Komposition LLC on our YouTube and go ahead and just watch season 1 and season 2, y'all. We have 2 seasons. So that's how you can find us.
That is so dope. So dope. Listen, fam, I want to say a word of thanks to our guests today. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. As I mentioned before, these are nuggets. These are supposed to be bite-sized. They're supposed to be very short, quick, where we deposit something and share with you why somebody else goes live. And we hope that it inspires them as well. Thank you, Kanique, for coming through and hanging up with us today. Well, fam, listen, I always say this in every show. Your live stream is your digital storefront. That's right. Your live stream is your digital storefront, because there's no better way to go from busy and broke to peaceful and paid for your ideal customer to see you do your thing live. And when they see you do it live, they don't need the taste test. They don't need the ad campaign. They don't need the marketing. They want to book the business with you because they saw you at your best. They saw your secret sauce live. And I want to help you take that first step. Hit us up at kirkrnugent.com or go to howitallworks.com. Drop us an email at info@howitallworks. All of the details are going to be in the show notes or in the description of the video if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening to the audio on Spotify, or if you're watching on Apple. This is the Why I Go Live podcast. I get to serve as your host. My name is Kirk Nugent. I also go by the Geek Speaker Preacher. I'm so thankful for your time and attention today. We will see you around these internet streets or in the next 8
Why
audio
I Go
stream.
Live, hosted by Coach Kirk, is a Komposition production. Real streamers, honest stories, and incredible impact. Add your voice to the conversation. Go to kirkrnugent.live/member to join the community. And let's figure out how it all works.